Hello student, good morning to everyone. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think yesterday we were discussing about the some trick regarding how these carbohydrates are synthesis are obtained or how it is derived, how to remember these carbohydrate by using what formula they are generally represent. So that of the thing we have learned yesterday, and today also we are going to learn some of the basic thing regarding that carbohydrates, basics of carbohydrates. And as we know that carbohydrates are polyhydroxy optically active aldehyde or ketone is known as carbohydrates, and generally on the hydrolysis they produce the units, sugar units generally, and that type of the thing are called as a carbohydrate. Yesterday we have seen how to remember that carbohydrates generally starting from triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose. So how to derive by using some trick that we have learned yesterday. Get G stand for glyceraldehyde, E means that erythro, T means that triose, erythro. Remember, erythro means both the hydroxyl group OH are present on the same side. That type of the structure is known as erythro, generally as a D-erythro. D means all the naturally occurring carbohydrates are belonging to D series, and therefore it is termed as a D configuration. And as we know that D configurations are relative configuration, and generally triose means that glyceraldehyde, it is one of the reference compound is used while assigning the L or D configuration of that carbohydrates. And generally chiral center, these all are the optically, in the definition itself suggests that optically active means what? They can rotate the plane of polarization either right hand side or the left hand side. So that type of the organic compound, generally particularly this topic is a carbohydrate, they are optically active in nature. Some of them are maybe as optically inactive in nature, that is depending upon the what type of the structure that carbohydrates has. But with the glyceraldehyde means a triose, if they are the only one chiral carbon, they can show as a optical activity. And now let us see lengthening the carbon chain of the aldose. And as we know that aldose means what? There must be nomenclature system we already learned. Nomenclature means what? The systematic way of giving the name of the organic compound is termed as nomenclature system. And that according to that nomenclature system, the generally two nomenclature systems are used. One is called as a common name system and another one is called as a IUPAC nomenclature system, and IUPAC, full form of the IUPAC is the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So that is the full form of that IUPAC. Many of you might be knowing that the common name of these monosaccharides are generally given as glycose. Glycose means it is glycose, last 3 letter OSE indicate as a sugar unit, and therefore it is suppose that is a glycose. Suppose there is a aldehyde group is present in the carbohydrate, then we can call it a aldose. If there is a ketone groups are present, ketonic groups are present in the carbohydrate, then we can call it as a ketose. So accordingly, and in addition to that, the IUPAC name also given on the basis of number of carbon atom present in the carbohydrate. Suppose as a, let us see the example of glyceraldehyde, which is the simplest one, and it is generally used as a reference compound to study the rest of the carbohydrate chemistry, and therefore that glyceraldehyde is a common name, D-glyceraldehyde. Sometimes it is referred as a D plus glyceraldehyde, and that plus indicate as a that plane of polarization or that optical rotation. So this rotating the plane of polarization to the right hand side generally, so that's why it is called as a reference compound. Glyceraldehyde is a common name, and the aldehyde group is present over there, and therefore we can call it as according to as IUPAC, it is a aldotriose. Triose indicate, tri indicate as a 3 carbon atom present in that glyceraldehyde. Now lengthening of the carbon chain of the aldoses, as we know that the Killeney-Fischer synthesis that we are going to see over here, Killeney-Fischer synthesis. The Killeney-Fischer synthesis, Killeney-Fischer synthesis, because this is the method used for lengthening the carbon chain of the aldoses. Aldoses means what? Lengthening the carbon chain of the aldoses. Lengthening or what we can call it as a increasing, or it is a step up reaction where we can increase one of the carbon atom by doing this, by applying this procedure. So that is what is the lengthening of the carbon chain of the aldoses. So this is a particularly lengthening of the lengthening means increasing one carbon atom to each. Suppose as a glyceraldehyde, from that we can or triose we can get as a tetrose, then we can get as a pentose, or we can get as a hexose like this. And here generally here glycose means we are going to obtain or they are synthesizing that glucose. How it is synthesized? Yesterday while studying that trick we have learned how that glucose is obtained, that is from the D-arabinose. One of them we have got D-arabinose produces the D-glucose, as well as it can produce as a D-mannose. So that yesterday we have seen still, but that authentically Killeney-Fischer synthesis, how that glucose is synthesized or obtained in the laboratory, that the basic thing we are going to learn over there, and that method is known as a Killeney-Fischer synthesis. That is the lengthening lengthening of carbon chain of aldoses. Aldoses means the carbohydrate which containing polyhydroxy containing aldehyde group, that type of the thing we are going to synthesize. And what they have done, they have starting with the aldopentose, right? Aldopentose, yesterday we know that how to derive that aldopentose starting from the glyceraldehyde, deglyceraldehyde. Why it is referred as a deglyceraldehyde? Then lowest chiral center, from that you have to assign, you have to look there. If that hydroxy group are on the right hand side, then and then we can designate or we can assign the configuration should be the D configuration, and that is treated with hydrogen cyanide. What is going to happen? There is a formation of cyanohydrin derivatives, and that cyanohydrin derivative, once it is obtained, and as we know that cyanide group there introduced in that glyceraldehyde, then there are the two possibilities that hydroxy group either on both side, either in one case it will be on a right hand side, in another case it will be on a left hand side, and then these both give the special treatment on it. Then that is a hydrolysis process can be carried out over there, and after carrying out the hydrolysis, that cyanide group is easily converted into carboxylic group, as we know that, and after that there is a elimination of water molecule from carboxylic group, and the hydroxyl group they react easily just by heating it and producing the species or the product which is known as a lactone, and that lactone further treated with after the reduction of that lactone with specific reducing reagent. Generally they have used the reducing reagent, I think sodium amalgam, in presence of the inert gas like as a carbon dioxide, the resulting compound form as a higher aldose. Let us see there actually how they have done, they have prepared, they have considered. First compound is a pentose, CHO. Then they have considered here is a pentose 1, 2, 3. Let me see, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is a 5, CH2OH. They have taken OH, hydrogen atom here, hydrogen atom, one OH on the left hand side. This is an aldose, aldopentose, and aldopentose. Let us see here, aldopentose, because we are trying to prepare, we are trying to synthesize the compound that is glucose, right? And therefore, and this generally I have written this compound, or carbohydrate compounds are generally written according to as a Fischer projection formula. This you have to assume there at that corner point there is a carbon atom, here also as a carbon atom. If you number from here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and therefore it is a aldehyde group is there, aldo, and therefore aldopentose. So this is a what we can call it as a IUPAC name of this compound. And what they have did here, Killeney-Fischer synthesis, they treated this compound in presence of hydrogen cyanide. As we know that hydrogen cyanide, here the aldehyde group is there, and as we know that suppose as R C double bond O, then not this yes, here, and then if you treat with that hydrogen cyanide, minus charge, positive charge over there, this is going to attack over there, and resulting compound you are going to get RCOH, Cn, and this hydrogen, this is called as a cyanohydrin derivatives. This is a general reaction taking place with the aldehyde and the hydrogen cyanide treated with them. It produce this type of the cyanohydrin derivative, and they have carried out this reaction, and what they got there are two type of the things are happening over there. Here, after, let me shorten this so that we can get this one, and I am cleaning this. Now same thing is happening over there. There is aldehyde group, hydrogen cyanide comes over there. So how do you get? You are going to get here the hydroxy group, right? Here I am writing this one CHO, not CHO. Here is a cyanide group is coming here, Cn, then another one, 2, 3, and this 1, 2, 3, and one more OH. Then we are getting CH2 OH. Here, when we are treating hydrogen cyanide, OH is coming on right hand side here, H. Another thing you have to keep as it is OH, then H, then here what is that? OH, and H. Look at here, in the starting compound we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atom. If you look at this cyanohydrin derivative, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbon atom, because we are trying to prepare the glucose. And let's see over here what is going to happen. Here again as a same thing, a cyanide group over there, 1, 2, 3 and 4 chiral centers are generated, CH2 OH. And if you look at the starting material, there will be a 3 chiral center, 1, 2, 3 are chiral centers. Now when we are putting this hydroxy on the right hand side, but in this case you have to put on the left hand side, and this other 3 things, you have to preserve as it is. Then HO, H, then OH, and that hydrogen atom I am placing as it is over there. Look at, this is a cyanohydrin derivative. I am writing over here because here is no space there, and this is a cyanohydrin derivatives you have found over here, or we got here the hydrogen cyanide. What we did, we just treated with the hydrogen cyanide and we have got the cyanohydrin derivatives. Now this one further treated with, I am hydrolyzing this in presence of H2O, in presence of H plus, right? Same thing I am doing over here, the H2O in presence of H plus, hydrolysis. And as we know that hydrolysis is a process which can easily hydrolyze cyanide group into as a acid. Let me show over here, when we are writing, suppose here R triple bond N, that is cyanohydrin, and plus what we can call a hydrolysis, H2O in presence of the H plus, this cyanide group is converted into as a acid like this, RC double bond O and OH. Means in this way we can obtain, this is one of the best method for converting cyanohydrin into as a carboxylic group like this. So here same trick we can apply here. They have applied here and they got the product, which is this one, what they got, COOH. Then remaining thing you keep as it is. There are 4 and this CH2OH. So OH, OH, now H, H, this H over here, H, OH, and this hydrogen atom as it is. So that is the thing, and same thing this is going to convert into as a carboxylic group, as we know that here we can write COH, then 1, 2, 3 and 4 they are as it is, and you can write CH2 and this OH as it is. Then look at this hydroxy group, they are on the left hand side, right hand hydrogen atom, here OH and here also as the OH, on left hand side here hydrogen atom and here hydrogen atom. So simple, we are talking about or discussing about the Killeney-Fischer synthesis, how they have carried out this reaction. So starting from the aldo pentose. Now after this type of the compounds are very unstable. Just by heating it, what they convert, heat, just heat it, there is a elimination of water molecule. Now remember, this is kept as it is. This part, that is a D part, as we know that this is a lower chiral center over there, and it remains as it is. Now what is going to happen over here? So this hydroxy group from here and carboxylic group from here, OH from here and H from here, they lose as a water molecule, and what you are going to get in this case, on a right hand side there will be a formation of this type of the compound. Lactone is formed over here, you can write, so C double bond O you can write, and then O, then this one, this is a lactone formation, and then OH, H, and then you write CH2OH. Now this OH and this OH, they are remains as it is, OH, H, and here HO and this H. So this is the this form is known as a lactone over here. So let me write over here, this species octane or this product octane is known as a lactone. This is a lactone we have obtained, as we know that there is no carbon atom. You can remember here, this is just for sake of convenience we are writing as a this. There is a this type of the ring formation. So bonds are 1, 2, 3, and this one is a 4 bond. That type of the lactone, carbonyl group and the oxygen atom means ester group in the ring formation, they are termed as a lactone, right? If instead of there is a nitrogen, we can call it as a lactam. Remember, these are the frequently using word in the organic chemistry. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbon atom. After that, whatever reagent, whatever procedure we are following or carrying out, the number of carbon atom remains same, that you have to remember. And now in this case, what we are going to get over here, again same thing is going to happen, just heating it, there is a elimination of water molecule, and now here we can get here like this. So here C double bond O we can write, or just this double bond over there, and after that ring formation on this side, then OH and this what we can call it as a here this is a CH2OH, CH2OH, they are as it is. Here is a hydrogen atom. Now what is these two groups remains there. So these two group we can put hydrogen and hydrogen, they are as it is. Here is OH and here also as a OH. So in this way we have got this OH, right? And after that, then this is we got as a lactone, right? In the above case also as a lactone, and in the second case also as a lactone. Now after that, what they have done, they carried out this reaction by using the reducing reagent, generally is a sodium amalgam in presence of carbon dioxide. Here also they have carried out the reaction NaHg in presence of carbon dioxide. It is a reducing reagent. This step is a hydrolysis, this step is a elimination, and this is a reduction process, and this is just as a nucleophilic addition reaction. These are the various process are taking place, and what they finally obtain here, this lactone ring get opened and that get converted into as a aldehyde group, and they got the compound like this. This one is the CHO, 1 2 3 4, and here you write CH2OH, and look at here OH here, and after opening that lactone, the OH should remains on the right hand side. That the trick you should remember. And now these two group, they are as it is HOH, and here OH, and here is a H. If you observe this structure carefully, what do you see? Here they obtained, this is the structure of D-glucose, and which is very, very important, because throughout this carbohydrate chemistry we are going to learn about that D-glucose, how. So we are frequently going to use that D-glucose is a very important compound as far as the carbohydrate chemistry is concerned. So this is a D-glucose. Remember, this is a D-glucose, and this is a common name, and the IUPAC name, we know that there are the 6 carbon atoms are there, so it is a, and aldehyde groups are there, and therefore we can call it as a aldohexose we can call it here. And now here what you are going to get over here, now this here, if you remember, now is a lactone ring is on the left hand side. So what is going to happen here, remember here also we are going to get CHO, right? And 1 2 3 and 4 I am writing, and now here is again CH2 and OH, right? Now look at here OH, that is a lower chiral center is keeping as it is. When this ring is open, the hydroxy group should be on a, sorry, there are ring, and when the OH, what we did here, and here the OH on a right hand side, here HO, H, HO and H. This type of the compound we got. If you observe over here carefully, this OH is on the same side, but when this ring get open, OH goes on that side, so 2 OH, and therefore this compound, if you see this compound carefully, what do you see? This is the structure of D-mannose. This is the structure of D-mannose. In a chiral approach, we have seen how the D-mannose is useful for synthesizing many of the natural products which are medicinally useful. So in this way they have synthesized the what we can call it as a D-glucose and D-mannose in the laboratory. So this is one of the famous synthesis is known as the Killeney-Fischer synthesis. The 4 step you should remember while synthesizing this type of the compound over here. So now the classification of monosaccharide we already carried out. So monosaccharide are classified depending upon the number of carbon atoms. So I think remaining thing we will discuss later on. I think with this let us stop today here. Have a nice day. Thank you.